Hold it there. Keep your distance.
What happened here?
Another girl killed. This is Susanna, from Candlehearth Hall. Served me a drink just a few nights ago, but I can't say I knew her.
Another? This has happened before?
Susanna's the third. It's always the same. Young girl killed at night, body torn up.
A few septums ain't nothing. You can...
Are the murders being investigated?
We're stretched thin as it is with a war.
But I really
Nobody has the time to spend on this. Not pleasant, but it's the truth.
Could you use some help?
If you want to help, ask some of these Gorkers if they saw anything useful. I'm going to examine the body before the rats can get to it.
I've never known a less friendly city than Windhelm. Let's not stay.
Yeah, Lucien, I'm with you. Between the hatred towards Dark Elves and now there being a serial killer on the loose. Not the nicest city.
Always sad when someone has to die.
Did you see what happened here?
Sorry, I thought I saw a fellow running away, but didn't get a good look at him.
How about you, miss?
Another one. Terrible.
Did you see what happened here?
I heard a scream and came running, but she was already... like this when I got here.
Always sad when someone has to die.
Everything all right?
I'm still investigating, don't worry about it.
This is a shame.
Did you see what happened here?
No, sorry. But I did notice that her coin purse was still intact, so whoever did this wasn't after gold. I'm going to keep preparing the body, if you'll excuse me.
What is it?
I didn't realize you started preparing the body. I'm just gonna check real quick. I wouldn't call that coin purse full, but there's definitely
My job's
still money in
simple
it.
enough. The dead don't really complain much.
Got to thinking. Maybe I'm the Dragonborn. I just don't know it yet.
Alright, you go fight a dragon and we'll see how you do. I've spoken to the 3 witnesses.
Just like always. Nobody saw anything useful. The bastards escaped again.
There might be more to this, if you let me help.
Look, friend. If you think you can do better than the Legion of Guards, be my guest. You'll need to talk to the steward, though. We can't just let anyone go around claiming to be on official business. If he's willing, then we'll talk.
Balgruuf won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Balgruuf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breaths. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric, and that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
It sounds like Jarl Balgr should watch us back.
If you have any news of the Western Holds, take it to Ulfric immediately.
Actually, I'm here about the murders.
These are difficult times indeed, when men stalk their brethren like beasts. My men are stretched thin as it is. If you offer your aid, I gladly accept. The guards will be told to assist you as necessary. I'm happy to lend a hand as much as I can as well.
Let me also just mark this off, that way I can actually see what I'm doing.
Any luck finding the butcher?
Well, no, it's been all of 2 seconds. What do you do for the Jarl?
For Ulfric? Well, nothing official. Known him for years. He seems to value my thoughts, and I'm grateful for that. I don't really have a mind for war, and I think he likes having an untrained opinion from time to time.
What can you tell me about the city?
Grew up here. Cold as at Mora, but that just grows the beard thicker. Lot of history in these walls. We're trying to make some more. It's a lucky time to be alive. Travel safely. It's dangerous out there.
I know, I'm looking for a killer.
I think I've got a handle on it, but Orichalcum is confusing.
Don't even bother with that one. Leave it to the orcs.
Maybe you've seen masts sticking out of the water to the northeast. That would be the wreck of the Winter War. Fine vessel back in its day.
Good to know.
My cousin's out fighting dragons, and what do I get? Guard duty.
Not just guard duty, guarding a crime scene. Jarlif has granted me permission to aid in the investigation.
All right, then. I noticed a trail of blood leading away from here. Helgerd's taken the body into the Hall of the Dead to prepare for burial. She's a little crazy, but if she knows anything, it's dead bodies.
Well, you know, it's easy enough to follow the blood trail.
Godlike Whitemane is in a better place now. Or is there any place better than Sovngarde?
I'm just glad he could reach Sovngarde in the end.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
Have you noticed anything strange about the body?
Well, she's dead. But I guess that's not unusual, at least not for somebody in here. I mean, someone who's not me, that is.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Was only joking with you.
I guess you could say it's, some grim humor. So, the body?
Oh, yes, right, of course. The only unusual thing is the shape of the cuts.
Huh.
They look like they were made with... Well, the ancient Nords used these kinds of curved blades when they embalmed their dead. I don't know who in Windhelm would even have something like that. Other than me, of course.
Did you have anything to do with this?
I'm too busy tending to the dead to spend my time making more of them.
We are also in a
I
war,
wouldn't
so...
very well tell you about the cuts if I had made them, now would I? Now, I really got to get back to the body. Lot of work to prepare her for the grave.
I mean, you could tell me about the cuts to throw me off the scent. You ever think of that? Well, the blood trail didn't end at the Hall of the Dead. That was just one potential lead. Let's see where this blood trail leads. Apparently none of the guards could follow. Apparently none of the guards really thought the trail of blood leading away from the crime scene was important at all. Me, however, I pick up on those things. A master lock. Well, no one's getting in or out of there. Lucien, can you, stand watch?
What can I do for you?
Just wait here.
Sir, yes, sir.
If you see anyone come in or out of that house, just yell for me. Why don't you? Me, I'm gonna ask around town.
I was one of the best soldiers in the Stormcloak army, until I took a sword to the chest.
Here, have a gold piece.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. Be seeing ya.
If it's better board you're after, Candlehearth Hall's got both.
Can we talk about that house?
Wonder what it's like for those Thalmor, now that they've been taken down a notch.
How do I get into Hjerim?
Frigga Shattershield's old place? It's been abandoned ever since she was killed. I think her mother, Tova, has the key.
Alright, I'll go look for her.
Until next time.
Hello, friend.
I've been a bit out of sorts since our daughter was taken from us. Not really sure what to do with myself anymore. I just miss her so much.
I have some questions about your daughter.
I'm sorry. She was very dear to me, and it's rather painful to think about. I'd rather not talk about my daughter, if you'll excuse me.
I'm trying to find out who did this. I was hoping you might help.
Well, all right. What exactly do you need to know?
I'd like to investigate her house, but I'll need the key to get inside.
Hjerim? Well, I'm not sure what you think you'll find there, but you're welcome to have a look.
Poor Nilsine has been wrecked since her sister was killed.
I wasn't going to offer you a drink, sorry.
Please forgive my mood. I'm still coming to terms with my daughter's death.
I understand.
I try not to think of her, but sometimes the simplest thing will remind me.
Lucien, you look very official. Thank you for keeping an eye on the place.
They say Welkin stones contain the concentrated power of Mundus itself.
Okay.
The aliens used to use huge ones to power their city's enchantments. Remarkable.
And now they're all dead. Place is a little ominous. And fortunately, the butcher left a clear blood trail for me to follow. From the marks on the floor, it looks like this box was pushed up against the wall recently. Nothing behind it, though. Beware the butcher, and the butcher's very own journal. Beware the butcher, the killer who haunts the streets of Windhelm. These calamitous times bring out the worst in people. Do not become the next victim. See Viola Giordano if you spot any suspicious behavior. You know what? Let's find her. I'm gonna check the first journal, then I'm gonna see if I can track her down very quickly. The plans are coming together swimmingly. I found good sources of bone, flesh, and blood. But thus far, good sampling of sinew and marrow have escaped me. No matter. The city is swollen with contemptuous fools who will be missed by nobody. Last night was almost able to corner Susanna as she left Candlehearth. Idiot guard showed up at just the wrong moment and I had to turn about, just out for a stroll and so forth. There will be other chances, but the time is drawing near. I think back to my time in Winterhold. All the wasted minds up in their towers, they only explore the magic they already know. I am discovering new magic here, something deeper than the cantrip shenanigans of fire and light. This flesh magic is older than us, perhaps older than the world itself. I am tugging at the corners of the fabric of the universe, and where it bunches and folds is where I shall create my greatest triumph. One more attempt at the Candlehearth girl. She's proving to be a bit too cautious, but those strong joints of hers should contain the most exquisite tendons. Worth the effort. Tonight. So Viola seems to be one of the only people to care about what's happening in the city. Or at least one of the only people to really care about finding the butcher. Which means she might be next, which means maybe we'll have to talk to her later and make sure that she's safe. In the meantime, let's keep looking around. From the dust, these look leftover from when the previous occupant moved out. So I guess our killer might not be much of a drinker, huh? These haven't been used for ages. Nothing but skeever droppings and cobwebs inside. No, I don't want to take them then. No, we can leave those. If anything, I probably shouldn't really take anything, because this is a crime scene after all. This perfectly good wardrobe was left behind for some reason. Oh. The shelf is filled with more of those butcher flyers from around the city. One pile looks misshapen. A strange amulet worth 1,000 gold? Let me take a look at that. Oh, yeah. Only mildly ominous. This wardrobe seems to be nailed to the wall for some reason. I know it says follow up on clues, but I'm not done looking just yet. The altar is built to some unknown magic. It looks like someone is using body parts towards some gruesome end. 17 tendons and assorted ligaments, 173 fragments of bone for assemblage, approximately 4 bucketful of blood, Nord preferred, 6 spoons of marrow, no more than 2 from a thigh, 12 yards of flesh, before cutting. Stars scrying to the edge of the ice mine looked at the lights where the souls dance, revealing the time when a spark will revive, when the rotted unites under most skillful hands. Translation from Aldmer text, as interpreted by the aliens and first transcribed by Altmer. Provenance and authority unknown. Soon. Oh, I'm so glad they brought a snack with them. Oh, maybe they are a drinker. They have meat in their, I guess you'd call it a workshop. Ooh, I just tripped over all the bones. And, just like Helgrid said, embalming tools, not unlike the ones she would use. Well, I'm gonna leave Lucien to just safeguard the place, but I'm gonna go see if I can find Viola and speak with her.
Be on the lookout. The butcher could be around any corner. After what happened to those other women, I'm worried about my own safety.
I understand. What can you tell me about the butcher?
I've been following him for months now. Well, not actually following. Trying to find him. The guards won't help. The people won't help. I'm the only one who thinks he can be caught.
Why can't the guards help?
They say they're too busy with the war. I say, what good is winning a war if we're still terrorized by one of our own?
How can the rest of the people not care?
Oh, they care, all right. Just none of them thinks to do anything about it. They say I'm just snooping around bothering people. But I'm trying to save lives.
You know, you really should have talked to Yorlif, because he approved me to investigate immediately. I found this journal in the killer's lair.
Huh? What's it say?
Take a look for yourself. It sounds like a necromancer has been experimenting.
Woundfirth. There have been rumors swirling about him for years, as long as I can remember. But he's a dangerous man. That's why they call him the Unliving. I wouldn't approach him directly. This information needs to go straight to the steward. He'll listen to you.
Viola was quick to blame the court mage, but I feel like there's still some other leads we can chase down.
My sword. Dull old blade can barely cut butter. I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
I've taken plenty myself, and I'm still an adventurer. Do you know what this amulet is?
I've never seen anything like it. I would take this to Calixto at the House of Curiosities. He has a good eye for strange trinkets. Might even give you a bit of gold for it.
It is worth a pretty septim or two.
Hmm.
And the more information I can find, the better.
Welcome to the House of Curiosities. I offer a brief tour for a few coins, or you can simply browse at your leisure.
I've taken the tour before.
My sister and I once traveled the world to assemble our collection. Such adventures we had.
Do you know anything about this amulet?
Let me see. Ah, yes. This is the Wheelstone. It's an heirloom symbol of the power of Windhelm. Traditionally, it's carried by the court mage. I would, be interested in acquiring it. If you're willing to part with it, that is. For a piece like that, I could pay 500 gold.
I'm sorry, but this is part of a murder investigation, so I can't really sell it right now. Shouldn't the court mage have it?
Wurnfirth? Bah, it's purely ceremonial, and he has no use for it. Besides, I wouldn't want to be the one to give it to him. Gives me the creeps. They say he dabbles in necromancy.
You know, you're not the first person to say that either. I'll hold on to it for the time being.
Suit yourself. It's only of value to collectors, though. Good luck finding anyone else who will appraise it that highly.
I can always come back.
A most pleasant chat. Until the next.
Sounds like we should have a talk with the court mage then.
You're like me, eh? Don't fancy those clunky two-handed weapons.
What are you talking about? I use two-handed weapons all the time. Oh, there you are. It's a little early to be asleep, isn't it?
Whatever you've heard I can do is probably true.
Oh, is that so? Well, I've heard you dabble in necromancy.
I beg your pardon? Necromancy? I am a member of the College of Winterhold. In good standing.
Winterhold?
They haven't allowed necromancy for hundreds of years.
Well, I found your journal in the amulet where the butcher worked.
My what now? I've never kept a journal, I can assure you.
Fine, diary.
What exactly did this amulet look like?
I have it right here. 8-sided jade ringed with ebony, a worn carving.
I know it well. Or at least I've heard of it. I would wager that carving once depicted a skull.
It still does.
That is the necromancer's amulet of legend. It appears you were at least half right. There is necromancy at the heart of this.
I guess Calixto was wrong.
Yeah. Calixto and his books are often confused about such matters. It happens to the best of us.
So what can we do now?
I've been noting a pattern to when the killings happen. Now that we know they're tied in to some sort of necromantic ritual, I think I know when the next might occur. Let's see. From a Lordus of Last Seed until a Midas of Hearthfire, it will happen soon. Very soon. Keep watch in the Stone Quarter tomorrow night. That's almost certainly where the killer will strike next.
Patrol the streets of the Stone Quarter at night. And here I just came to Windhelm to get a good night's rest, maybe get some supplies, and here I am, patrolling the streets for murderers and necromantic killers. What a life, huh? I've spent the past 2 nights on patrol. At this point, I'm just hoping we can catch a break. Is that Calixto? It is.
Your mind swing.
Oh. He tried to send me on a wild goose chase. I'm gonna take his key. I'm gonna see if there's anything I can find in his house to maybe explain any of this. But hey, you're safe.
Horses. All day long. Do you have any idea how dull horses are?
You were nearly murdered, ma'am.
If the guards would listen to Viola, they'd have caught the butcher by now.
I just caught him. You were almost killed. Just now. Thank you for noticing. Now, this has always been considered one of Skyrim's buggier quests. If anything, it's really one of the only quests I've ever had in Skyrim that I really ever expect bugs in. It's a quest where if you don't really follow it specifically and you don't follow the exact steps, it can very easily get messed up. And I know there are some mods that help to steer things in the right direction, but I know those can also be a bit buggy. What I'll say is, it does feel a little almost anticlimactic when you catch the Butcher. You have to be there at the exact moment in order to stop him before he kills again.
Any luck finding the Butcher?
As a matter of fact, yes. Calixto Corium was the Butcher.
Ismir's beard. The man that was old is a bit odd, but I wouldn't have expected. You've done the city a mighty service, friend. I believe you'll find the guards to be a bit more cordial with you in the future. Travel safely. It's dangerous out there.
It's a little safer now. Just saying. Well, let's grab Lucien. Let's check out Calixto's House of Curiosities. And it's the middle of the night, so I'm just gonna get some rest and wait until morning after all that. Hey, Lucien, how are you?
Ready yet?
Yeah, you don't really need to safeguard the house anymore.
Right you are.
Because I killed the killer.
What's next?
I really like murder mysteries. I like having to catch killers before they strike again, but the resolution does feel a little anticlimactic. You don't figure out that it's Calixto and then kill him. You just have to be there at the right moment if you want to stop him. But even then, it can be real finicky. I've seen attempts before where even if you kill him before he attacks his next victim, sometimes they'll just drop dead to the ground anyway.
There's no glory in war.
The guards just don't do anything at all either. It's really up to you. Man, I never really got my gold back for that tour I paid for. The less than stellar tour that I paid for here, huh? Lucien, I'm just gonna look around for a second. The Butcher's Journal, Part 3. That's the thing. You can figure out it's him if you find this. You might not necessarily think to find this, though, until you find him, unless you already know where to look. Soon enough, my sweet Lucilla, you will be with me again. Normally when such words are written, it is because the loved left behind is soon to depart. But in my case, I hope to soon bring your spirit back into my world. For it was you who loved this world so much, not I. I continue to collect your new form from the ragged bits around Windhelm. If they only knew what destiny would soon grace their bodies, with your spirit imbuing them with higher purpose, they would surely thank me for the great gift I give them. I reserve for them a place of beauty alongside your heart. The day draws near soon, I will hold you, and I will show you this, and it will be as delivering a long-forgotten letter to a weary traveler. Love always, Calixto. And also, hey, here's all the embalming tools that we mentioned. Guy had a couple screws loose, huh? Well, that's one mystery solved. I think I've earned a good night's rest. Again. Came here a couple days ago to get a good night's rest, and now here we are yet again. Me being tired, me needing to just relax for a little bit.
Got some fresh baked bread and good cheese if you're after a bite to eat.
There's no such thing as a peaceful day, a peaceful moment for an adventurer, huh?
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
No, don't worry. I'm already familiar with the place.